saw the average U.S. citizen now owns 8 firearms. Or maybe it's the average gun owner. The average gun owner now owns 8 firearms.
I'm like, man, you guys, hey, all you firearms owners out there that have 8 firearms, you need to work on them numbers. Them numbers are low.
France is on fire.
They're sick of the immigration.
Yeah, they're sick of the New World Order. That's why France is on fire.
I agree 100%. I figured you'd have a different perspective on it.
Well, I mean, it has to do with...
So do you know why the taxes just went up?
Well, it has to do with the Paris...
carbon tax.
Carbon tax. So they're
75% tax rate.
Macron raised taxes on fuel because they don't want people to drive. The problem is...
It's not just about fuel, though.
Well, I know it's not just about fuel, but what is being protested, the protest started because what Macron and a lot of fucking liberals that live in states like California and New York don't understand is your food is brought in vehicles that run on frickin' fuel. And it's not brought from down the street. It's brought from other states. It's brought from all over the country. And when you raise taxes on fuel in order to get people out of their cars, you're actually affecting a swath of the country that actually makes sure that this country keeps running, or even France. And that's how it started, but it's now turned into, well, we don't want any more of this immigrant stuff. We don't want any more of this one world order stuff. So he's in trouble. I mean, he'll be lucky if they don't drag his ass out and fucking kill his ass. So, he actually bolted.
Where is he? We don't know.
Well, I think he's back in France now, but there was like 4 days where nobody in the government knew where he was at because he was freaking hiding, little wuss.
I mean, when the people set up a guillotine, I mean,
especially in France, it's not like they ain't never done it before.
This is the same agreement that Trump pulled the United States out of, and everybody across the world was talking shit about Trump having pulled the United States out of this. But it's raised the tax rate to the people. Like, people literally can't afford their fucking apartments. Like, yesterday they were barely paying their bills. Today they can't fucking pay their bills at all. And the yellow vest movement is because it's the people. You know, the people out working. Safety vests. It's look at us and draw attention. We want everybody to know about this. And he said in the past there was such censorship, and now with Facebook and everything, it's out there and it's not being reported. You're not seeing it on the mainstream news.
No.
There's people on the ground. Like, I just watched an interview with a dude who went out there and started fucking just talking to people. He's like, I flew to Paris to talk to you guys. And that's what these guys are saying. There's like, yeah, the gas tax, okay, that was the final straw. But they're about to pass another fucking a charter agreement, accord, something this week. I don't know when I watched. I guess this was recorded a few days ago. So sometime this week they were supposed to pass a free immigration act, which means there are no boundaries. And you can immigrate all the way through Europe, all the way fucking with nothing to, no checks, no balances. And it has made it a crime to even speak ill about it. So, like, to voice a negative opinion, you're going to fucking jail over it. You're going to prison over it.
So that's what's going to kill the EU, because it's not the exact reason. There are other reasons to be a national, but it's part of why Britain exited the European Union, is because the EU has a free pass, meaning you can go anywhere into Europe and look for work. They were going to England because England had a better support system in place, because it's a First Nation, so they have a better support system in place, and so all these people were going to England, and that was part of the Brexit. Was we are tired of Brussels telling us what we have to do as far as who we take care of.
What do you need?
Nothing wrong.
Oh, because you're looking like you're trying to hear.
No.
Okay.
I was listening to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a little bit of a mess.
I mean,
well, they got a big mess because he came out and said, okay, guys, we were just kidding. We're not going to do the gas tax. You guys are good to go. And nobody went home.
Yeah, because that was just the final
Yeah,
You already lived that fire.
that's what I'm saying.
That aluminum's not on fire. You're not going to put it out with water. That aluminum's already burning.
Is the riot only in Paris?
No, it's
All
all
over
over.
France. Yeah, because there's like not shit on mainstream media about it. Like,
No, you
not
know why?
shit.
The reason why it's not on mainstream media is because they are protesting all the things that your current Democratic Party wants to put in place.
All you saw was those people coming up to the Mexico border. They're trying to open that whole fucking country. They're trying to open all of fucking France to just run and do whatever they want to do.
Well, as part of the European Union, it already is. So these people are mad about policies that exist.
They're supposed to pass another one that's even... They're supposed to pass something this week that makes it illegal to voice a negative opinion about immigration.
In the States?
No,
in
that's like
France.
Or not in France. All those laws are coming out of the European Union, which is Brussels. They went and they actually 2 days ago they went and I think went into the International Court in Brussels and rioted inside of it.
In the court? In the
Uh-huh.
building?
In the building.
Sorry.
So they're just tear gassing. Why aren't they firing bullets?
They are.
They are.
Yeah.
And the yellow vest guys have no arms?
No, nothing. I mean, they're doing the usual. They're doing the usual French stuff. They're throwing Molotov cocktails. And, I mean, now did you see? There's an awesome picture of a dude. They throw a CS grenade at him. He's got a fucking tennis racket. He's just like, boop. Hits it right back at him.
That'll be like that Operation Nimrod, the SAS trooper, rappelling down with his MP5, that world famous photo. That'll be the next world famous photo.
And then there's a bunch of pictures of dudes lighting themselves on fire, which is, I mean,
Not
it's not funny.
intentionally.
It's not, no. Like this guy's got a Molotov cocktail, and he goes and he lights it, and then he goes back to throw it, reaches back like this, and lights the back of his jacket on fire and chucks it.
These have classes on that, I guess.
Yeah, it's hard to when your country has been so liberalized and so enslaved for so many years. Revolution's hard, and you got to learn all the new tricks.
They have vagina hats over there too.
No, they're wearing orange vests. They're wearing their neon vests, which is so smart because it totally makes them look. It makes them look legit. In the sense of, you've got these riot cops and with all their black, they're all totally blacked out. And then you have these people walking around in orange safety vests or neon green safety vests. It's like, what's going on here? Are they picking up trash or what are they doing?
Is this a construction zone?
Not only that, it represents the blue collar worker.
Yeah.
Like that is their work attire. Plus, it shows for anybody with a camera. It's not so commingled. Like how many are out there. Like when you see a photo. And what's getting out, you see a photo of one or two dudes here, but when you see a photo from the distance, from building cameras, it looks like there's a fucking million of them out there. Like it's not just some pocket of fucking Antifa retards or something. I mean, there are fucking hundreds of thousands.
Like they are no legit. Like within the first week, they had farmers with
pitchforks and
shit trucks, manure trucks. That were driving alongside their parliament and firing this manure all the way to second-story windows, just covering the side with this manure. And then,
on the balconies.
Yeah, and then a couple days later, they were talking about. I don't think it was the president's car, but it was somebody's car was parked right on the other side of the fence, and you just see this tractor. You see this tractor come into view, and then the bucket goes up over the fence and just it's full of fucking manure. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. My guess is France is going to. My guess this is what's going to happen is they already nixed the gas tax. And he is hoping that if he just doesn't do anything,
By this time.
that everybody will go home. Problem solved.
Maybe.
Do we think that's going to happen?
People have to work. People have bills to pay.
I don't know. That's what I was thinking is, a lot of those guys, though, are working for the government. So that check is going into their account, even though they're not in their buses and they're not. So how long are they going to be able to maintain this momentum? Be interesting to see. Before they have to go back to work.
Turn your person off. Turn your account off. Turn all your shit off.
It's a lot easier to do that when we're talking about
one person.
We're talking about the Bundy Ranch. We're going to shut the Bundy Ranch down, but even here, when you see what happened with those guys, you have, I'm sure there was probably no more than 1,000 guys show up for that thing. But when you have that many people show up and they all show up with guns, the government has to be like, okay, because no matter what happens, we shoot first, they shoot first, it doesn't matter, this is going to be so ugly that we will all be out of jobs. It's just, I saw a video the other day of these French police, full riot gear, ready to go, they're like blocking the street so nobody could get down, and these dudes in their orange vests, they just came up with their hands in their pockets. They got closer and closer until they were like, eyeball to eyeball with these guys. And he had to be the sergeant, who probably does not have a job anymore.
Took the helmets off.
Yeah, he took his helmet off and stood there and lowered his shield. And then everybody else took their helmets off. All the other cops there took their helmets off. And the guys with the orange vests just went right by him and kept going.
So the guys, the dude on the ground that I just watched that was doing the interviews with these guys, the people, the indigenous people there said that law enforcement is actually joining them. They are tired of this shit. They are tired of having to be the muscle for the enforcement of the laws that they believe to be wrong. And that is happening more and more. The cops are taking their uniforms off and joining the crowd.
The problem that the French are going to have, or the problem that, so unlike here, not that it hasn't happened, because we do use our military as an arm of law enforcement. I mean, hell, we're doing it right now at the border. But the French, the way the French military runs, it coexists within those agencies. So the minute the police don't show up on a corner, there's going to be a legionnaire there, and a legionnaire is not going to care. He's going to be like,
yeah,
bonk, whatever.
Yeah, the legionnaires always.
Because I saw a really short video this weekend. They were like, hey, check out the armored cars. Check out the armored cars. So they've been using fire trucks, doing the typical hose thing, but then they brought in armored cars, and somebody was like, check out the armored cars with the EU logos on it. Well, those are actually, they're not police cars. Those were military vehicles that they brought in. Guaranteed they had soldiers in them. So it'll be interesting to see how far it goes.
Blue hats.
Blue hats?
Yeah.
When people say blue hats, what people don't understand about blue hats is the UN does not have the UN itself, blue hats, there is no effective fighting force within the UN. Every time you've ever seen the UN go anywhere where it needed guns, where it needed muscle, it was always us. It was always the United States who showed up and did the running and gunning.
People willing to fuck up lesser people for sure.
Oh yeah, but
they don't have the numbers.
Even still, anytime
all those little groups that send people to wear those fucking blue helmets, they just don't have the sheer numbers we have. So when they go in and get overrun, or they go in and fuck some shit up, we're always the ones that have to go fix it, because we're the fucking willing force that will do it.
Well, that's, in some ways it's true, in some ways it's not, in the sense of numbers. Like, for example, when we were in Somalia, the largest military force that the UN had in country was actually the Pakistanis. The Pakistanis had 10,000 guys on the ground, but they were all engineers. There was no, like, yeah, they carried guns and all that stuff, but they weren't a real combat force.
Right.
The UN had no muscle until Clinton said, hey, 10th Mountain, you go over, 10th Mountain Brigade, you go over there. And that was the muscle. So, I mean, I'm never worried about blue helmets because blue helmets are always, while U.S. forces never put on a blue helmet, we are always the ones that are doing the shooting. If you look at any of the, like Rwanda or any of that shit, they have such a narrow mandate of what they can do that a lot of times whenever there's a fucking massacre, the blue helmets are sitting there watching it happen because they can't intervene into what's going on. So it's a joke, really. I mean, the UN, we are wasting millions and millions of dollars supporting the UN because they don't really do anything.
So what's the next move in Paris, you think? Or
I think my opinion is that's what he's
just wait
because
it
he's
out?
not. Everybody's like, what's he doing? Why isn't he making my opinion is he thinks, which technically could be true. His advisors could be saying, hey, this is the swipe generation. This is going to be over in a week. These people will be back doing their regular jobs. Just wait.
You don't think we're his advisors? The United
No,
States, you don't think they have
no.
any play in this?
We don't have any plan in what's going on with France.
But the United States, fucking all your liberal media, who owns all the media, the liberals, they're not broadcasting any of this because they're like, oh shit.
They're not broadcasting it. It's because it is the path that they want to go. The
New World Order.
The New World Order, that liberalism, that's the path they want to go. There was just a thing about the Democratic Party talking about the things that they need to do. City infrastructures, moving people closer to resources.
Agenda 21.
Moving people closer to resources, and national parks.
Agenda 21. This is all Agenda 21. Which everybody for the last decade has said, crazy, tinfoil hat. I said it too. Because you heard it so much. Oh, those people are crazy. Those people are crazy. Those people are crazy. Well, that shit's 20 years old. It's all fucking happening. The difference is today, 20 years later, although it's all happened piece by piece, they're fucking telling you. They just have a different name on it. It's literally the same. Like, look that up if you don't know, because that shit is fucking happening. That's everything he just said is exactly fucking Agenda 21. They call it Agenda 2130 now. It's been renamed something else. But that's the same shit.
Yeah.
And that's why they're not broadcasting it, because fucking France, who doesn't have guns, France
doesn't have guns.
Doesn't have fucking what the United States has. Try that shit in the United States, see how that shit goes. That's why they're not fucking putting it out
That's what I
there.
was gonna say. I think it's more like shit. Don't give them any more
I
ideas.
just saw the average U.S. citizen now owns 8 firearms. Or maybe it's the average gun owner. The average gun owner now owns 8 firearms.
I'm like, man, you guys, hey, all you firearms owners out there that have 8 firearms, you need to work on them numbers. Them numbers are low.
You need to get some fucking
low.
You need to get some bullets and
Low.
some training.
You should have at least 13. You should have at least 13 guns or 13 firearms in your house.
You need bullets and training.
13 firearms. That way, when you're your quasi-liberal friend that likes to drive a Prius but still waves the American flag, when he comes over to your house and he's like, "Fuck this shit! I can't believe they're taxing me on my Prius because it gets too good a gas mileage," then you go, "Hey, man, here you go. Have some liberty, bro."
And all you Prius guys, all you Prius dudes, where do you think that fucking electricity came from? Like, you got your little Prius and you're plugging it in at fucking Whole Foods and shit. I see you guys. Where do you think the fucking electricity came from?
More importantly, look at your batteries. The cobalt in your batteries.
Oh, the lithium.
It is now the worst scourge in the Congo, worse than diamonds. They're doing the same thing they did with diamonds as far as mining that cobalt that goes into your Prius. So if you were anti-blood diamond, you should really be anti-cobalt and anti-electric car. Even Elon Musk is trying to figure out a way to make those batteries that does not include that because he knows what's going on in the Congo right now.
Not to mention, what are we doing with those batteries after the fact?
Oh, that's
From
20 years down the road, John. We don't need to worry about that pollution now. Why would we? Come on. And you should watch, what's the TV show where they get 3 crazy cars and drive all over the place?
Oh, Top Gear.
Top Gear. You should watch, if you drive a Prius, you need to look for the Top Gear issue where they talk about Prius versus a Land Rover. Your Prius is more polluting than a Land Rover that gets 3 miles to the gallon.
The old school Land Rover.
Yeah, the old school Land Rover. It's more. You pollute more with your Prius. You've created a footprint that is larger than that of a Land Rover.
I like the Land Rover.
Except when the taillight fills up with
It doesn't
water
do
and you put the
I still like
goldfish in there.
I still like it.
We should have figured out how to get goldfish in there.
I still like it.
I saw a used Tesla that was crashed go for $12,000. Total Tesla.
Why is that? Because of the guy with the video?
Yeah, because that guy in the video. Because people are trying to put him back together.
Richard rebuilds.
But I thought they had a kill code or some shit in there. Didn't they? Didn't
Well,
they
they
actually
do.
arrest that dude over some of that shit?
No, they didn't arrest him. But what they did was when he got his car, when his car was completely finished. So one of the dirty secrets about
What's the channel? Tell them the channel. What's the channel?
Richard rebuilds or Rick rebuilds?
It's a black dude. Just look up rebuild Tesla. It's the fucking only videos they're gonna come out.
he has completely taken a Tesla. He has taken a Tesla down to the single bolt. The whole thing. He's taken a Tesla apart and put one back together. The problem, the dirty secret that Tesla and your one world government doesn't want you to know is the idea is that you don't own that car.
Yep, you can't sell it.
You don't own that car. You have updates that you have to get from Tesla. So every now and then there is this update that I don't know
Just
what
like
it is.
your phone when you wake up
yeah.
in the morning and it won't let you fucking use it.
In order for your system to properly work, you have to be getting these updates. So when you own the car, you're not really supposed to just sell the car because those updates are going to you. So, for example, when an insurance company, when a vehicle gets totaled, when the vehicle is considered totaled, that car gets taken off the registry. So that car no longer exists as far as Tesla is concerned. Now, here's the other thing you need to understand, is when I say totaled, very little damage has to be done to a Tesla for it to be totaled. Because there are only, I want to say there's only three places that you can get that service. It is a Tesla service area, but there are only 3 places where you can get that car service. So sometimes, or most of the time, it's easier for the insurance company to total the car than to get the car back to Tesla. One of the vehicles that this guy went and bought, it really was, the only thing that was wrong with it was the side fender had been smashed and a shock mount had been broke. But the Tesla service area was so far away that the insurance company was just like, total. So he bought this car, fixed that, and he's got a brand new Tesla. But you have to get updates. So when he built his first Tesla, he calls Tesla and says, hey, blah, 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 I need my updates. And Tesla's like, you don't get any updates. That car's totaled. It doesn't exist. It doesn't belong to you. So he actually fought with the company for a while, but because he has done so much, like,
It's really publicity.
yeah, so much stuff, and he's been public about everything, that I believe Tesla has let him update that particular vehicle. But that's the problem is, if you don't get your car updated, you may go out there and it just won't start one day because you didn't get the update, which means you don't really own that car because they don't want you to.
And you can't just sell as a Tesla owner. You can't just sell your car. You have to have permission to sell it and the new buyer. So if I sell my Tesla to Jeff, and Jeff goes to get his updates, they won't give him his updates until he pays his ownership fee. He has to register that with Tesla, and it's thousands of dollars.
There's an ownership fee when you transfer a car, meaning that you're not just paying me because I purchased that car. You also have to pay Tesla. It's kind of like Tesla is doing to cars what Windows did to computers. Every year you got to buy a new contract. You got to buy this new thing, otherwise there's going to be a bug and your computer's going to crash. So it's
Wait till the bugs come out for the fucking. You'll need some antivirus for your car.
Yeah.
And the other thing too with their apps and their updates, those cars can drive themselves.
Yeah.
There's several big YouTube personalities out that actually. There's a guy named Jeff Starr, makeup guy, puts makeup on driving down the freeway in his Tesla while it self drives him. I believe Casey Neistat has a Tesla that has the self drive. All those cars have the capabilities, whether it's turned on or not. So at some point, when somebody wants to talk to you and you are being looked at, they'll just fucking take your car. Like, you'll come out in the morning, your car will have driven to the police station or wherever the fuck it reports to over whatever it is. Fucking misunderstanding, fucking real shit, whatever it is. They can turn that fucking car right off. Like, it will fucking cease to move right where it is.
And here's the other thing that you may or may not know, which may sound cute. It may sound cute, but I want you to just think about this. A corporation. So Elon Musk has specifically stated a couple of times that the car has Easter eggs, meaning there are things within the car that the company is not telling anybody about, but you might be able to figure out this Easter egg. Now, the ones that he has talked about are, cute at best, as far as the car. Like, the car will dance. There's all kinds of weird shit that the car will do if you figure out these Easter eggs. If they're putting Easter eggs in there, if Elon Musk he's thought to himself, God, it would be really funny if every time this car went through a red light, it just turned off. Or it'd be real funny if every time this car turned left, that all the lights in the car turned on or whatever. They can do that now. They can do that. So,
Talk about a backdoor on your cell phone.
talk about a back door right there. I know what you're going to say. The car is really nice. It's really fast.
Super fast.
And that's
super fast.
And that's the key. That's the key to your docile reaction to all this. Is as long as I can make those freedom infringements very comfortable to you, you'll have no problem with it. It's just like these things, right? That there's a generation of kids growing up right now that are not concerned about privacy.